How's it going, everybody? Do the video now showing the differences between a Ruger LCR 38 Special and a Ruger LCR 357 Magnum. I'm just going to kind of show the differences that they have in weight, size, that type of thing. Both of these guns are, if you just look at them, they look very, very, very similar. Okay, now the LCR 38 is the LCRx. That's really a non-issue, other than it has a hammer sticking out instead of it looking like this with a totally concealed hammer. And this is one thing I spoke about on my LCRx video as far as the looks. You can see between these two, the thing I don't like, and it's a very minor thing, is this little hump right here. I don't like the way it makes the gun look. I realize why that's there, but you look at the X, it has the traditional sweep coming down, okay? It doesn't come down and then have that hump that sticks up. This just has a more traditional look, and I just like the looks of this better. When I was looking between the LCR or the LCRx, the look of this I liked quite a bit more, and plus just the fact of it having an exposed hammer I like. Both of these guns, as far as their build goes, is the same. The LCR 357, the one in the back, is beefier. Okay, it has more metal in it. It's a heavier gun. The cylinder, of course, is longer to accommodate the 357 round. But the 357 Magnum, you can fire a 38 Special in it. But you can't fire a 357 in a 38 cylinder because the 357 round is too long. 357 in this 38, the round would stick out the end just a little bit, and you wouldn't be able to rotate the cylinder. And plus, the gun is just not built for that type of chamber pressures and just overall power. The weight between the two, I just weighed them. They're both fully loaded. The 357 has some hollow point 158 grain. The 38 is 158 grain as well, but they're a hollow point as well, I believe. Yep. Yeah, those are the Spear Gold dots. I put them on the scale, and the weight difference is exactly 4 ounces. The 357 loaded 20 ounces. The 38 is 16 ounces. So there's a full 4 ounces difference, and you can feel the difference. 4 ounces is not that much. It's not like it's dramatic, but the feel is there. You can feel it. The grips on the two are the same. They both have the Hogue tamer grips on them. Just kind of give a little look here. The metal, the steel, or what have you, in the 357 is thicker. It has to be in order to handle the extra power. But they're both phenomenal guns. I'm going to show you. Unload this. Put those over there. 38s I'll put over here. Now I'm going to take a 357 round right here. I'll be able to get that in there. Okay, 357 Magnum. Put it in the 38. Now it will go in this cylinder just fine. 38 and 357 are the exact same diameter, okay? But looky here. See how that's sticking out? Now, I've seen them before where this cartridge will seat all the way down, and the round will be coming out the end a little bit. But Ruger has done something inside here. You can see down there at the end of the barrel, you can see the the end of the cylinder. You can see where they have the edges down there, and I imagine that is where the casing goes in and will hit. It's hitting that ridge down there in the cylinder. Be help if you can see it, and not allowing this to go in. So if you go to try and close this, it isn't going to. Okay, I'm not going to force it real hard. I don't want to jam everything up, but uh-oh. Oh, there it went. Whoop, on the floor. Whereas, if you put it 357 in, a 357, of course, it's going to sit flush. Just like that. But you can, on the other hand, take a 38 special round, spear, 38 special, no problem at all putting that in a 357. Falls right down in there just fine. Closes up just fine. So that's the reason. I know I used to have that question many years ago. It's like, well, if you can shoot 38 in a 357, why can't you do it the other way around? This was long before I had virtually any knowledge at all on firearms and bullets and all that kind of stuff. But that's the reason why. And also the fact that a 38 frame, this in here, is just not built strong enough to handle it. I mean, you get a hold of this, you can kind of see the color difference between these two. See how the LC, the 357 here on the right, the color on it, on the steel, is a little lighter. It isn't quite as deep black. I don't know, it might be a different steel, but you can just tell that it is heavier. Let's see what we got here. I'm kind of doing this on the fly, which is kind of my way. See the amount of, I don't want to focus right there, does it? It's just beefier. See how much bigger around? I mean, it looks like to me in this camera that the 357 bore, the barrel itself is just a little bit larger in diameter than that 38. 357 on the right, 38 on the left. Kind of hard to tell. One thing about the 357 not having a external hammer, the only way that you fire this is just point, aim, pull the trigger. Okay. With the hammer, you can point, aim, pull the trigger. Now the trigger on this 38 is a little bit lighter. I'll do a trigger check on it here in just a second. Or of course you can fire it single action, like so. Let's get the trigger pull going here, and let's see what the difference is. This here's on the 38. This will be in double action. Okay. 10-1 on the 357. I'm OCD about that. Before I'm going to pull the trigger, I always have to look and see, just to make sure that there ain't one in there. Do that. Try this one. Nine 4. try and grab this thing the same spot on the trigger. Now I'm not pulling it straight back like this. I'm kind of pulling at a little bit of an angle down. Okay. Do the same thing on both revolvers. .885. Now I kind of wanted to see this, and like I say, I haven't checked this before I got on video here. But people have said, I've heard them say, that the LCR trigger is a little bit lighter than the LCRx. .910.5 on the LCRx. So even the 357 Magnum is a little bit lighter than this one. Now, this one here has not been fired yet. I've done just a little bit of dry firing with it. This one here, the guy I got it from, like I said before, said it had no more than 20 rounds through it. And I believe the gun has not been used much, because this stuff is still very stiff, and I just believe it hasn't been shot much. But I guess on the, I want to do a comparison sometime on the LCRx 38 and the LCR 38, and just see how much lighter the trigger pull is on the LCR versus the LCRx. Because they say that it is lighter. I will tell you, I did order one of the XS standard dot front sights for this 38. It should be here tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow or Wednesday. And I'm going to put it on the 38. I've seen a video. It doesn't look to be too awfully difficult to put on. I'm going to try it. You can actually buy an LCR from the factory with the XS regular dot sight on it. It's called the LCRx, and it adds about $80 to the price of the gun. And I ordered this sight off of Amazon for $57, you know, shipped to my door. But I'm kind of anxious about it. You know, that black on black is not optimum, you know, especially if you're trying to shoot on a black target or what have you. So I'm real anxious to see how that regular dot works on here, and how it looks and how it performs. So I'm real excited about getting that as well. But really, I mean, that's really about the only differences between the two. This one's 4 ounces heavier. This one's, you can just tell by feeling it that it's got more metal in it. It's just more substantial than this one is. But man, whenever it comes to carry, I wouldn't carry this with 38s in it if I have this. This one here, 4 ounces lighter, that's the one that's going to be carried. If I want to carry 357 Magnum, for whatever reason, maybe I'm going to go up to the mountains, this one right here would be the one that would go with. So that's about it. I just kind of wanted to show the differences between the two, and it's really not much. I don't know if you can see that at that angle. You can see that right there. They're identical. I believe in the barrel length, you can see they're identical in size. They really are. The only difference is the weight. And you know what? The cylinder length on these might be the same too, because of the way that shell went in. I assumed, I assumed that the cylinder on the 38 would be shorter than on the 357 because of the bullet length. But I can't be sure about that now. We're going to find out though. Okay. That's the 38. And the 357. They're the same length. They're the same length. So these guns, for all intents and purposes, are exactly the same size. This one's just beefier. I can't see, looking at them. Well, I can see this here. See this little bit of metal right here? You don't see that on this one. This metal here is kind of flush down in here, where this one here kind of protrudes out. So it's just stouter. That's all. I'm talking craziness now. It's just stouter. Other than that, they're the same size gun. They can use the same holster. This one can shoot either ammunition, you know. So if you don't mind the extra weight, put up a few extra dollars, get the 357, then you got the best of both worlds. That's not a bad idea either. Thanks for watching, you guys. Y'all take care. We'll see you.